Previously on Sisters in Stars Hollow.
Oh, God, wow, this was already bad.
Look who's here.
I am an autumn.
You're pleased that the Iceman looked at you like a porterhouse steak.
For God's sake, what do I have to do to get you to put the damn cheese in individual bags?
You're so lovely.
Can't you see I don't want you anymore? What is that? What the hell?
It's very Christmas.
The pudding.
Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Oh my God. Can't you see I don't want you anymore? I'm pretty sure that's from like Old Yeller or something like that.
Is it? Oh my goodness.
It's a quote from a movie. I was pulling that from something.
I watched that movie one time. It was so sad.
It's really depressing.
It's just depressing. Yeah.
But it's just what came to mind. I'm laughing because like we were talking about that in context with Tristan because it was like, oh, it's Chad Michael Murray. He was like, oh, he's in this, but it's like, oh God, he's the worst, right?
He's not a likable character right now. Yeah.
But I do like Chad Michael Murray a lot. And lately I've been watching Sullivan's Crossing. Anyone out there?
Anyone?
Sullivan's Crossing?
Sullivan's Crossing.
Oh my God.
We haven't even talked about this yet.
You and I have not. Damn.
He's looking good.
He is looking good. Oh my God. Like, and it's funny, right? Because like when we were younger, he was younger and it was like, oh man, Chad Michael Murray is so attractive. And now we're got older and he's older and he's still at that level of attractiveness.
It's kind of true
as
though.
We've aged together. You know what I mean? And it's like, dang, he's good looking. Oh my God.
He is though. Like he's just like, I don't know. What did they do to his hair? Like it's just like always just perfectly like falling like effortlessly around his face. Like I don't know how to explain. Like it looks like effortless.
It's effortlessly disheveled.
Yes. Thank you for putting
in a
words.
Hot way. Oh God. So I'm just on that show right now. And funnily enough, Scott Patterson, who plays Luke, is also in that show.
He's also a main character. Yeah. So it's a funny parallel. It's like, oh, it's Luke. Okay, so today, Julia and I both have the same coffee.
Yeah, we're doing something a little bit different today. We're trying a new coffee.
Live. I mean, not live, but live.
Well, live for us.
Yeah. At the time of this recording. This is live.
Yeah. So I was at Target and they had Starbucks K-Cup coffee on sale. There was this one that was vanilla lavender, which sounds
like a candle.
It doesn't sound like it would make a good coffee, but that's what intrigued me about it. I was like, okay, I want to see like what this actually tastes like because I have had lavender ice cream before and that was really good.
I have also had lavender ice cream before as well. It's okay.
Oh, you didn't like it as much?
I mean, I wasn't like, this is incredible and I want lavender in my ice cream. That was not my reaction to it. I liked it because it was purple ice cream and I like purple things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe also that's part of it too. I'm being very attracted to pastels in the past few years. I'm serious.
What? I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Julia just pointed out to me that her water bottle that she's been using is like a pastel purple color.
Maybe a lavender
and
color.
It is lavender. It is lavender. I think it is lavender. Also, your iPad cover is like a pastel pink. Okay. Everyone's like, so. Like, this is just a little bit news to me because I just didn't know you were into pastels.
Oh, I love them.
Okay.
I want to wear more. I want to like have more pastels in my life. This is big for me because because for so long I only wore gray. I'm sure you know this about me.
I do know this.
Yes, where it's like gray is my favorite color. Like I like gray. I know that sounds very millennial, like oh, millennial gray, but even middle school for me it was like gray. And then one day I was folding my clothes, doing my laundry, and I'm like, oh my God, everything I own is gray. It just hit me. I was like, oh. Yeah, so I'm really into pastels right now. Iridescent things. Love it.
Oh, iridescent too.
Iridescent, yes.
Your tastes are allowed to change over time.
They are. Again, everyone's like, okay, who cares? But it's big for me because I was just in gray for so long. Just gray everything.
Oh man, now I'm like analyzing my own wardrobe and color choices because I also have a lot of like grays and blacks.
We need to update our wardrobes collectively.
Okay, I would love to do this. However, both of us are in the new mom phase of life, and it's hard to do that. I'm just saying. But
no, I know.
I did buy myself some new flats the other day.
Okay.
They are nice. They are black.
They are plain black flats. Okay. Yeah.
They're nice flats. Why do we keep accidentally describing our lives and then it feels like our lives are like really boring?
Mundane.
Didn't this happen last time too? I promise our lives are not this boring. Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Can we get back to talking about the coffee? The coffee's vanilla lavender. We both have a cup of it that we just made. We haven't tried it yet. We wanted to just try it on this and get like the first reaction recorded.
So here we go.
Oh. Okay. I think the taste of it is fine. It's good.
I don't mind that.
I don't like the smell of it. I will say this.
Oh, really? Funnily enough, I smelled more of the vanilla than the lavender when I first made it. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of a great way to describe it other than like, potpourri. It smells like that to me. I don't know. Like, it doesn't smell appetizing. It doesn't smell like, a cup of coffee.
That's fair. Our father tried this because he drinks a lot of coffee too. And he was like, oh my God. Who bought this one? I was like, all right, that's a bit of a overreaction. Okay.
I like the smell of coffee in addition to the taste. In this one, that the scent factor is just it's not there for me.
Now that I'm having another couple sips, I do get it. It's not like, wow, I gotta have this again. I'll drink it because I have like 20 K-cups of this, so I have to drink it. But I'm not like, God, it tastes like potpourri. I don't think that.
I'm not disgusted by it either. I'm just telling you that the smell of it is like that for me.
Good.
But once, I mean, I'm going to drink this cup right now.
All right.
Thank you for finding this.
You're welcome. And that's what I want to do. We'll try different flavors, try different coffees, try different things.
I'm all for that.
Final review on it.
It's a 3 out of 5 for me. Maybe a 2, actually. I don't know.
It's getting lower. It's getting lower each time. 2.5.
2.5.
It's a 2.5 out of 5 for me.
I'll agree. I'll agree with that.
Okay. All right. Starbucks Vanilla Lavender K-Cup, 2.5 out of 5. And if you guys want to recommend some coffees we should try live on the show, send us a message at buymeacoffee.com/sistersinstarshollow. All right. Well, let's get into it. I'm Julia.
I'm Alex.
And this is Sisters in Stars Hollow, Season 1, Episode 7, Kiss and Tell. So the episode opens and Lorelai and Rory are walking through Stars Hollow. Lorelai is telling Rory that she
being weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I don't know. I thought she was being weird.
This conversation, I was like, what the heck? She's telling Rory she needs to do laundry because she hasn't had clean underwear for 3 days and currently isn't wearing any. And then is also making Rory feel bad for Rory doing her own laundry and not doing Lorelai's laundry.
No. Just no.
Just no.
Just no. I don't. Stop being weird. Do your own laundry. Stop being weird. And also don't go around being like, I'm not wearing any underwear in the middle of the street while you're walking around with your daughter. Like, it's weird.
I want to say, though, here, I want to like Lorelai's outfit here, but I can't under the circumstances.
Wait. Please expand on this.
She has like a dark brown turtleneck and then a lighter brown skirt. And then she has like a leather jacket on top.
That seems like an okay outfit.
Yes, it is. Yeah. I like the outfit. But like I said, under the circumstances, I couldn't. Like, I know too much.
You ruined it. You looked good, and now it's just everything's weird. Everything's just everything's awkward now. I don't know what to do.
Flash 2, Lorelai and Rory walk inside Luke's. Inside of Luke's, there is a person there. His name is Taylor.
Who is this guy?
I know.
I was like, is this like the mayor of the town or just a concerned citizen?
So
It's not explained.
it is not explained, and I will explain it to you because this is a recurring character in this show.
Okay.
Yes, that we are seeing for the first time in this episode.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Taylor Dozy. He is technically called the town selectman, which I think, other fans out there, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe is basically like the town mayor, but they call it the town selectman.
Selectman?
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
I think that's part of the whimsy. That's part of the whimsy of this town. The town selectman. And he is someone that upholds the town's policies and just all the little quirks and intricacies of this town, which you will come to find.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. He's like if there was an HOA of the town, he would be leading it.
That's a great way to describe it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's like that. So Taylor is in Luke's, pestering Luke about him not having any autumn decorations for the autumn festival that is taking place. He says something like, your shop is across the Horn of Plenty.
Yes, it's like across from the Horn of Plenty. But you know what? I'm on Luke's side here.
Okay.
You weren't expecting me to say that.
I was not, no.
He can decorate his shop however he wants. Who is this guy? I didn't know it was the town selectman. I just was like, who is this guy? He's coming in here. He's like, your decorations aren't good enough. Get out of here. I didn't know.
That's fair. No, I think that's fair.
As much as I love decorating for fall.
Oh, 100%,
and if I owned a diner or whatever, I would definitely decorate it for fall. However, my previous point still stands.
It's funny too because Luke does not really like to partake in any town affairs. And things like this happen in the town all the time.
Okay.
And it's fun. You'll see. It's a fun part of the thing. But he's always like, this is so stupid. He wants nothing to do with Taylor either because it's this same thing where Taylor's always pestering him about like, Luke, you need to do these things, So Luke is like, no, I'm not putting up squash or pumpkins or anything orange. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm here to serve food. I don't need to put up decorations. While this is happening, Rory and Lorelai are in there trying to get their morning coffee and pastries.
Yeah, can we talk about the part where she tells Luke very loudly that her mom isn't wearing any underwear? Because that happened. And then what I was going to say earlier is I feel like that whole intro thing was just a setup so that they could like have this like, oh, my mom's not wearing underwear moment. And then he acts like he didn't hear that, but he actually did hear it because he makes a comment when they're leaving about it. I know I said this last time. I'm like, they're setting up things where it's like, oh, they're just friends and nothing serious, but like they're setting up things for the two of them. I'm making giant hand motions right now.
Yes, hands are in the air.
Hands are in the air. The writers are like, oh, we're gonna put this little. Oh, they had a little bit of banter. They had a little bit of banter right there.
Yeah, that did happen. Under the guise of someone pay attention to us so we can get our coffee and pastries.
Yeah, because they were like, right, like it was funny. Like they were like, oh, no one's paying attention to us. We want coffee and muffins. And Rory's like, hello, my mom's not wearing underwear. like it was like a funny thing.
Yeah.
But that's what I think. That's what I said.
All right. She said it. She's sticking to it. Faye too, Rory is getting off the bus. It's after school, and she goes into Dozy's Market where Dean works. La La music is playing in the background. I think we're starting to get more of a frequent La La music going. Yes. We're shimmying. We're shimmying. Moving our arms.
She goes into the market and she grabs some cornstarch. Again, can you just buy a bag of chips? Why is it always these, like, cornstarch?
Yeah. Well, first we see Dean and Taylor. Taylor is telling Dean that his cranberry display doesn't look enough like the Mayflower.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And I'm sitting there being like, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good, yeah.
But yeah, so Rory goes in there to see him, obviously, and is sneaking around the shelves and goes and picks up a box of cornstarch.
Get something else. You know what? It's better than a mousetrap.
Yes.
At least it's food.
Adjacent.
It's food adjacent. Okay. Fair. Fair.
Oh, man. Dean comes over and makes a comment about it. And she's like, yes, I have some very important thickening needs. Thank you. What the hell? Such a weird thing to say.
It's so weird. Rory, just get a bag of chips.
Please.
Please.
For the love of God.
For the love of God, get a bag of chips.
So they're kind of sort of flirting with each other. And Rory says, I guess I should go home. And Dean's like, wait, want a free pop? And then she makes fun of him because she's like, a pop? And Dean goes, yeah, in Chicago we say pop. And she's like, well, in Connecticut we say soda. This is frustrating to me and Alex because we have family on the East Coast. They live in Boston. And this is a constant battle where because we live in the Midwest.
We live in the Midwest.
And we say pop and they say soda. And it's always like, it's soda. We're like, no, it's pop. No, it's soda. Who cares?
Yeah, I know. Can we just all call it whatever we want to call it? We all know what we mean.
And I think the real term is soda pop. So you know what?
Yeah, you're right.
I've always said this.
The actual full term is soda pop. And just part of the country ended up abbreviating it to pop. But you know what I've noticed as a Midwestern person that says pop?
Yes.
The Midwest people, if you're around people that use the word soda, the Midwest people are not like, oh, you're calling it soda? Like, why would you call it soda? But the people that use the word soda are like, oh, pop. It's like a weird, like a one-sided, they're like tolerant of the other term, and the other side is not tolerant of the other term. I like how we're doing this deep analysis of this. But
it's true and proven in this episode.
Right.
Rory,
that was like
East Coast. She's East Coast.
Yeah.
Not tolerant of pop.
Right.
Dean
was
more
like
Midwest.
Yeah.
He's like,
he was like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, yeah, he's like, oh, we just used pop over there. Like, he's not like, no, pop is the correct term. Like, he's not saying that. He's just like, oh, okay. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like,
Team Dean.
Dean's such a chill dude. At least from what I've seen of him so far, he's very chill. So anyway, he offers her some pop.
They have a little back and forth about that. And she says, but yeah, I'd like some, thank you. They go to get some. And he starts to play this little guessing game with her where he hides the pop behind his back. And then he just goes in for a kiss and kisses Rory.
Ah.
Oh my God. Rory is shocked. She's stunned. Kind of looks at him and then says, thank you. And then runs out of the store.
Yeah, she's running like across the street. That's how it was, though.
It was. Her arms were flailing.
I mean, I can't do a motion through audio, so I was trying to make a voice sound like how she was running.
Yeah, well, I think it came across. I don't know.
That's how it was.
So anyway, Rory is running across town and goes to Kim's Antiques to see Lane. She runs in there, tells Lane she got kissed, and she shoplifted.
Yeah.
She did run out of there with a cornstarch. Rory is telling her all the details. Lane is super excited, like, oh my God, the new guy kissed you. Oh my gosh.
I have to say, I think the writers were like, you know what? It was weird that Rory wasn't talking to her best friend last episode about any of this. Let's fix that. Something happens, immediately goes to Lane, and it's just like not weird at all. Like, it's totally like normal interaction of like best friends.
Yes.
I don't know. It was good.
It was
what
good.
I mean? It was,
yes.
I remember, because last time we were like, why is she like being weird about this with Lane? Like, why is she not telling Lane everything?
Mm-hmm.
That was fixed, I think.
Yes,
in this
I agree.
episode.
So Rory is telling her all the details. Where did he kiss you? In aisle 3? Oh, by the ant spray. That's such a good aisle. Like, what makes a good aisle? The aisle where you get kissed by the new kid. That's a good aisle, And so they're going back and forth. It's really cute. And Rory's just like, I can't believe he kissed me. And then Mrs. Kim, like, comes around the corner and she's like, who kissed you? And Lane just goes, the Lord, Mama. And Mrs. Kim goes, oh, okay, then, and walks away. I love that line.
Yeah.
The Lord, Mama. Oh, okay. So Rory goes to leave. She's like, I gotta go tell my mom. But then she stops and she's like, no, I can't do that. And Lane's like, what? Why? She doesn't want to tell her mom because she thinks, well, the last time this came up, it didn't go over so well. This is called back to the pilot. And Lane makes a lot of good points. She says, like, well, that was different. She thought you wanted to quit school over a guy. And Rory says, yeah, but that guy was Dean. That this is the guy I was going to quit school over. And Lane says basically, well, maybe it won't be such a big deal now because you're in school, you're doing well, and maybe she'll be okay with it.
Totally good points. Yes, Lane. That is exactly true. All of that.
And Rory's like, maybe, I don't know. And then she goes to leave, and Lane says, was it great? And Rory says, it was perfect.
Yay!
Okay, real quick aside though. First kisses. Do you remember yours?
Yeah.
I'll tell mine.
What do we do? Are we telling stories?
Yeah, I want
here?
to tell. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It was in high school with my first boyfriend. It was at prom. It was gross though because like we had been dancing and stuff, and everyone was kind of just like sweaty, and it was like not enjoyable. I also don't know if I like was really into him that much, so it just a lot of variables combined where I was like, ooh, that wasn't really what I was expecting it to be. It wasn't the same experience Rory had, but there was similar, like, all my friends went in the bathroom, were like, oh my God, and I was like, yeah. That wasn't what I was expecting, but I've had better ones later, so it's okay. But that was my first kiss story.
Okay, you want to know mine?
I do, actually, yes.
We've never talked about this, by the
No.
way. It was during a truth or dare game on
What?
a speech and debate bus.
Wait, really?
Yes. Actually, no, sorry. Slight correction. I think it might have been a drama club bus
Okay.
ride.
Similar group.
I don't remember which one it was,
Okay.
but it was like nighttime on a bus with a bunch of people in a truth or dare game situation. But I will say it was with somebody that at the time I was like not complaining that I
Oh, that's
that.
good.
it was
Well, was it
it
nice?
was fun. Yeah, I mean it was like
It wasn't like
it was
gross.
fun.
Like,
No, it
yeah,
wasn't
mine
like
was
gross. No, it wasn't like gross. But it wasn't like I wouldn't say it was like an intimate moment or anything because
No,
it wasn't
sure.
like anything. It wasn't
Yeah.
somebody I was like dating or anything like
Sure.
that. It was like like in a truth. It was like in a group situation. So that was
so
a
that's
little
hard.
weird.
That's a little weird, yeah.
But it wasn't like a bad experience either.
Yeah.
It was like because we were like all like we were having fun. If that makes
Sure,
sense. So
sure.
like yeah.
Flash to the Gilmore house. Lorelai is all up in arms. The fridge is broken. It's making some high-pitched sound. She has the repairman on the phone. She's going like, yeah, it's going like, over and over again. No one can help her fix the fridge. She's in a bad mood because the fridge is broken. The house is a mess. She tells Rory basically like, oh, God, I'm in a crappy mood. I hate my life. Ugh. And this totally turns off Rory from saying anything to her mom.
Yeah. Like she's clearly just like, this is not the time to talk about this. Okay.
We'll bring this up later. Flash to Kim's Antiques. Lorelai shows up there. She's picking up a rocking chair that she bought from Mrs. Kim a few weeks ago. She walks in and is shouting, hello. And then Mrs. Kim just like pops up from behind a counter. And Lorelai is like, oh my God. Like, Jesus. I think that's contender for spooky moment.
Yeah.
Because Mrs. Kim also was like, Rory's not here. The way she said it was really ominous.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, Mrs. Kim is upset with Lorelai because apparently Lorelai bought this chair like 6 weeks ago and never came to pick it up. And they're going back and forth about why haven't you come pick up this chair? And Lorelai says, I'm sorry, I've just been busy. And Mrs. Kim says, well, maybe you should be less busy and remember to pick up your chair. And then you can keep your daughter from running around and kissing boys. And Lorelai's like, what?
Like, what are you talking about? Like, she's like, are the fumes really strong in here? So she makes some comment about like fumes or something.
Yeah. And Mrs. Kim, you've gone loopy. And then Mrs. Kim tells her what she heard, that Rory was telling Lane that she kissed a boy in the grocery store where they buy their food.
Yeah.
She's appalled by that fact.
Yep.
We buy our food.
We buy our food.
Kiss, kiss, kiss. And Lorelai is taken aback by that. Like, she says, I'm sorry, I didn't know. She didn't tell me. And then says, I have to go. But also leaves the rocking chair. Still doesn't pick up the rocking chair.
She's so shocked by this that she just like rushes out of there and still hasn't picked up the chair. Yeah. And Mrs. Kim is like, hey, wait.
You forgot your chair again. Flash to Lane and Rory are dressed as pilgrims in the center of town. It is the autumn festival. It is in full swing. I believe they are set up at the table of the horn.
The table of the horn. The table says Canning Drive on it or something like that.
They're set up at the Horn of Plenty. That's where they're set up. So I guess it must be a donation table for canned goods.
That makes sense. That's what the Horn of Plenty
Yes.
is signifying.
I didn't
Okay.
see that sign. So good spot.
I'm glad we can combine our knowledge of the situation to figure out what was happening.
Because I was like, Horn of Plenty, donations, charity donations. That's what I was thinking, like money donations.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
I think it was canned food.
Makes sense.
Donations, yep.
So they're talking, and Lane wants to hear about all the details of the kiss again. She has to live vicariously through Rory for these things. Rory says, "What are you talking about? You got kissed the other day." And Lane's like, "Okay, totally different situation."
Totally different situation.
That was a setup for my parents. He was a theology major, thinks hardcore rock leads to drugs. His name was Patrick Cho. He kissed me on the forehead. Very different situation. But Lane is telling Rory everything she knows about Dean. She did some undercover work, did some digging to get the facts.
Yep.
That's very good best friend work. My best friend did that for me at times.
Oh.
She did. She was doing the internet research.
I just thought of that one song from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Oh.
Research me obsessively. Do you know that song? Sorry, total tangent, but
we love that
I
show.
love
That's
that
a great
show.
show.
Yeah, so she's doing all this research, and my favorite part of what she says is she's like, Dean's friend has said that he's been talking about you for weeks.
Yes, nonstop. Can't stop talking about you.
So great.
Oh my God. That's so exciting. To be in that moment, put yourself in Rory's shoes and you hear that. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yes. I know.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I got him.
Got him.
Anyway, they got the scoop. Rory's super excited. Dean can't stop talking about her. Flash to Luke's. Miss Patty is there eating, and she's trying to convince Luke to put autumn festival decorations up. And I love the little conversation that happens there between the two of them. Because she's like, "Oh, Luke, your food is lovely, but you know what would make it even better?" And Luke's like, "Autumn festival decorations." She goes, "Well, food without ambiance isn't really food, is it?" That's, I think, my quote of the episode.
That's your quote of the episode? Okay.
And he's like, "Uh-huh." And he goes, "Want some more iced tea?" And she's like, "Oh, no, it's too depressing in here for tea." While that happens, they pan over to Lorelai, and she's sitting there staring at Rory at the Horn of Plenty table, clearly upset about what's going on. Luke thinks that Lorelai is upset at him for not putting up autumn festival decorations.
He's like, "Not
"Seriously?"
you too. Are you mad at me too?" And she's like, "Wait, what?
What?
Huh?
I didn't hear you."
She's like lost in her own thoughts.
And she's like, "I'm concerned." Rory joins Lorelai and Luke's. She comes in, and Lorelai says, "Hey, we haven't talked in a few days. You've been really busy. I thought maybe we could catch up a little bit." And Rory says, "Okay, what do you want to talk about?"
Lorelai is like, "Let's catch up. Like, what's been going on? Anything you want to tell me?" Like, kind of like that. Like,
yeah. And Rory doesn't really have much to say. And Lorelai is like, "Okay," and goes on to talk about this episode of General Hospital and its whole long story about it. And she keeps working in the word kiss in there. Like, the characters were kissing and trying really hard to imply, "Tell me about this kiss." Unclear if Rory understood what she was trying to get to. You find out later, I don't think she did.
I don't think she did. No, I think it totally went over her head.
Totally went over her head. And she's like, "Well, this has been fun, real important conversation, but I got to get back out there." Lorelai is clearly frustrated by it.
Yeah, because now she gave her like a clear opportunity to tell her, and then she still didn't.
Yes.
So now she's like, "Oh, so she's hiding it from me? Like, okay.
What the heck?"
Yeah.
Flash to Lorelai sneaks over to Dosie's Market to go spy on Dean. She's in there trying to act casual, and then Luke sneaks up on her. And Lorelai tells Luke all about Rory had her first kiss, and she didn't tell me.
And then he's kind of like, "Why are you over here? Like, stop.
Don't be doing this." And she's like, "Look at him. Look how smug he is."
Put the lemons in that bag the wrong way."
Yeah.
Luke's just like, he's working at a grocery store. How is he going to be smug? Like, what are you talking about?
She says he wasn't gentle with those lemons, He's not gentle. And Luke is like, "Okay, we need to get you out.
Yeah,
of
we
here.
need to leave. We need to go.
Store." Luke takes her outside. Lorelai's all up in arms. And Luke is saying, like, "Well, Rory's growing up. This stuff is going to happen." Lorelai thinks he looks like Christopher. and is just upset that Rory didn't tell her. And I think a main thing, too, is she doesn't want to end up like her and her mother, where they don't talk about boy things and they can't talk about personal stuff and things going on in each other's life.
Mm-hmm.
She really wants to be supportive and show Rory that she thinks this is great and just wants things to get back to normal.
I would like to comment on this scene where she's taking a nice, friendly walk down the sidewalk with Luke and having like a really kind of like heart-to-heart type of conversation with him, which this entire show up to this point, that has only happened with her and Suki.
That is true.
So this is the first time that she's had like this person is my good friend like type of conversation with anyone other than Suki is the theme.
Mm-hmm.
So I just noticed that and I just wanted to point that out.
There's something about fall and having intimate conversations. I don't know.
It is. But yeah, because also like this episode is about fall also, right?
Yes,
is that why you're saying that? Like
yes.
It's like it just feels heartwarming.
Yes.
I don't know.
Remember I told you at the very beginning, this show is a fall show.
Yes.
And it gives you those vibes and those feelings, and that this was definitely the first episode where you're like, here it is. This is a perfect example of
that vibe.
Yes.
Okay.
It's getting chillier. We're getting cozier.
Okay. I love it. I'm here for it.
Well, for me, not even with this show, but just fall in general, like you just put on a sweatshirt and you're cozy. There's something about like having intimate moments in fall that just gives you all the feelings. I don't know if do you feel that way?
I mean, I don't know that like I've made a connection with those moments and fall specifically. However, back when I was in college, I feel like fall was nice because it was like the start of a new year. And so it kind of, I think there were a lot of like positive feelings because you were like, you know, seeing your friends and starting new things and like, while also having those cozy moments. Like, so I think like I do have a little bit of that association, but it's not, I've never thought of it before, I guess, like that it's like fall makes me feel this way. Like, I don't know. But maybe I will after I've experienced this show. Maybe I'll realize that I do have that association. I don't know.
That's how my mind works. I thought that pre this show. That's how I've always felt.
Okay.
And this just adds to it.
Okay.
Where you turn this show on in the fall and it's like, that just adds to the cozy moment.
Yeah. Okay.
So outfits right here. What I did like was Luke's outfit, actually.
Oh. I don't think I was paying attention to Luke's outfit.
He had a black shirt on, then a red flannel, and then like a dark puffer vest over it. And it, again, the reason I pointed out, because in that moment, okay, they're having this heart-to-heart conversation, and he's in like this cozy outfit. They're in fall cozy outfits, and it's like, oh, don't you guys just want to cuddle up?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Cozy.
Anyway. Flash to the Gilmore house. Lorelai is sitting on the couch waiting up. Rory comes home a little late. She goes to the fridge, grabs some leftover takeout, and then Lorelai just sneaks up behind her and just goes, "So, kiss any good boys lately?"
So that is my second place quote of the episode.
Okay.
Not my first place, but second place.
All right.
So, kissed any good boys lately?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the whole name of the episode, so.
It is good. Rory is shocked, like, oh my gosh, how did you know? Lorelai tells her Mrs. Kim told her this morning, and the whole town is basically talking about how you guys were making out in the market. Rory's like, we weren't making out. It was just a kiss. And Rory says, so you're okay with this? No lecture about kissing a boy? And Lorelai is clearly struggling with this fact. She's like, no, it's fine, it's fine. Saying over and over again that it's fine, but clearly not okay.
It's not fine.
Flash to Lorelai and Rory are walking in town, going to Dosie's Market again to get a snack, or snacks, I should say, for their movie night. They are watching Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Amazing movie, by the way.
Yes. Excellent choice.
Such a good choice.
Cheer up, Charlie.
Not that part. Why would you sing that part? Do we need to talk about this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We had that movie on VHS growing up, and every time it got to Cheer Up Charlie, we just fast forward. Immediate fast forward through that. That's the only...
Immediate.
Love that. Love the whole movie. Loved all the songs, except for the Cheer Up Charlie song. We would just fast forward through it. Like, no, not worth the time to watch that.
Every time. I know those two lines. Cheer up, Charlie. Give me a smile.
Because those two lines is how long it took us to like get the remote or whatever to like hit fast forward, so we didn't have to listen to the rest of the song.
Yeah, we watched that movie a ton growing up. A ton. That was one of those movies that was on repeat in our house, I would say. So yes, they're watching Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and going to Dozie's to get a bunch of snacks. They're about to go in, and then Rory gets scared and is like, wait a minute. No, we have plenty of food at home, because she knows Dean's inside, and she doesn't want Lorelai to embarrass her in front of Dean.
Yeah.
And Lorelai says, it's going to be fine, you know? It's not going to be weird. And then Rory gives her this big list of things she can't do. You know, don't interrogate him. Don't do this. Don't do that. My favorite was no referring to Chicago as Chi-Town. And Lorelai's like, ugh, okay, rolling her eyes, like, it's going to be fine. Okay. They go inside. They don't see him right away. And they're like, all right, let's just get our things and get out. Start putting all these things in their cart. They do see Dean. He's working the counter. And then Lorelai makes a comment about how tall he is and like, that kiss really would have been a backbender. Sure.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay.
All right, fair. Then Lorelai is saying, oh, Dean looks cute. He has great eyes, a nice smile. And then there was a comment implying that he had a nice butt. And I just thought that was a little strange for a mother-daughter relationship.
I think I might have missed that.
Lorelai says something about, what can we do to get him to turn around? And then Rory says like, oh, that's nice too. Trust me. Such a strange thing to say to your mother.
Like,
mother-daughter.
Yeah,
I know they're close. I know they're close, but you guys don't have to be that close. And you also, you didn't tell Lorelai you kissed him, but you'll be like, yeah, he has a nice butt. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like,
just, to me, that is
their
strange.
relationship sometimes gets a little bit like, it strikes me as like Lorelai trying to be too much like her friend and not like her mom.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that's an example of that happening.
For sure. So they're checking out. Dean is there. Rory introduces Lorelai to Dean. You find out he's a Wonka fan. He knows Gene Wilder is in Willy Wonka.
Very nice.
Very nice. And it's pleasantries. It's not so bad. Lorelai says, see, I'm not so bad. Rory says, okay. And then calls Rory a supermarket slut as a joke, but also like, what? Don't call your daughter that.
Yeah.
Even as a joke. Don't.
Yeah, no. It's just like, no. Stop.
Please
no. Don't do that.
Yeah. They go to leave. Lorelai says, oh, I want coffee. Rory says, the movie store closes in 10 minutes. Lorelai says, go, run, get the movie. I'll meet you at Luke's. Lorelai is about to go over to Luke's, and Dean comes out and says, you guys forgot your red vines. She says, oh, thanks, and then stops him and says, hey, what are you doing tonight? And then invites Dean over for the Willy Wonka movie night. Says it's totally casual. Rory will love it. Dean's a little hesitant, but says, yeah, okay, and agrees to go. Why?
I know. Just... it was like
thumbs
whole,
down.
Like, oh, that whole interaction was okay. Like, it wasn't nothing super embarrassing or anything. Like, everything's fine, normal. We can now move on. Rory's thinking like, okay, we can move on. We can just have our movie night.
Yes.
It's fine.
Sigh of relief, right?
Right. No, the second she steps away, oh no, now you've gone and invited him over to your movie night. Like,
oh my gosh. Yeah. And I have the same reaction Rory has.
Yeah, like you're going to just like die of embarrassment because now it's like, what do I even do with this?
They're on their way home. They got the movie and she drops the bomb and I invited Dean. And Rory just stops and is like, you what? You invited Dean to our house? Lorelai's like, yeah, so this is great. And Rory says, we haven't even been out on a real first date yet. And now we're going out on our first date with my mom? Like, what? And she says, this isn't Amish country. Boys and girls usually date alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so Rory is so upset and humiliated. Lorelai says, oh, I thought it was casual, just like hanging out kind of session, and she thinks Rory's overreacting because she's like, I just invited a friend to movie and pizza. And Rory's like, this is the boy that I like, not just a friend, this isn't casual.
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out like what to do so it's not awkward and, not feeling like Lorelai arranged a date for Rory because that
is kind of how it could end up feeling.
For
valid
sure.
concern.
Very valid concern. And Rory just stops and is like, he has to come. We can't uninvite him. That'd be weird too. Like,
Yeah.
He has to come. So just, oh God, a night that was supposed to be casual and comforting is now not.
And honestly, you know what I would have suggested in that situation if I were Rory?
Okay.
Is to actually invite more people.
Yes, you're
Like,
right.
let's invite Lane over also. Or like
Suki.
and Suki or something like that. So that it's like a group thing.
Yes.
And it's not just like him and me and my mother.
Yeah, that is a great suggestion.
But they didn't think of that. And later on, they were too stressed out. And actually, Suki she showed up later. I know I'm skipping ahead, and then, Lorelai was like, no more people because Rory will freak out, But if they had planned that ahead of time of like, let's invite some more friends over. So it's like a movie night with like, not a ton of people, not like a party, but like, like a group of people.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah.
Then it would have been way less awkward.
For sure. My mind is blown. I don't know why. I'm like, wow. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, that sounds so fun. I want to do that.
Right?
Like, oh, that sounds fun.
And she could have like just called Layton like at any point and been like, hey, I need you to come over like right now. Like we're having snacks and it's an emergency and you need to come.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
For sure. But it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Fade to the Gilmore house. Rory is in her room. She is struggling to figure out what to wear and how to feel. Because again, this was supposed to be a casual night. And she's like, now I have to look girly and pretty and I feel gross. And I don't know what to do. I get it.
I do too. I would be so stressed if that was thrown on me.
Oh my God. That would be so stressful. I'd be sweating. I need to go take a shower. I'm sweaty and gross.
Yeah.
And Lorelai is like, okay, let me help you. And she helps her out with the clothes.
Lorelai picks a top for Rory and tells her, like, you should wear this because it says, oh, I just threw this on. It was just in my closet, even though I know it looks amazing on me.
And Rory's like, how do you do that? I've been staring at that sweater for a while now. And then you come in and now it's an outfit. And Rory's just like, and how do you do this in general? You're so good with guys. I'm a total spaz. Like, I don't get it. And Lorelai basically says, it takes time. You'll learn how to do it. And gives her a nice pep talk for like, it comes with time. It comes with practice. You're going to be fine. You got this.
Yep.
Put your hair down. Put on a little mascara. You'll look great.
You'll be great. Also in that discussion, Rory points out that Lorelai does a hair flip. Is that a thing that comes back? Is that like a thing about her character? Or is that just like randomly mentioned in this episode and not a thing?
I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, she has her iconic hair flip that she does. Like that isn't a thing, I don't think. But maybe she does flip her hair when she's talking to guys and I just haven't noticed. So something to look out for, I guess. But
yeah.
Yeah,
I liked the little pep talk that she gave Rory. I thought it was nice.
I thought it was nice. Considering the situation, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Fade to, they are ready and waiting for Dean. They pan through the whole spread of snacks that they have. And I did write down what was on that table because it's kind of crazy.
What was on it?
We've got tortilla chips, queso, regular potato chips, marshmallows, chocolate chips, jelly beans, Skittles, M&Ms, Cheetos, a whole roll of Toll House cookie dough, a huge jar of peanut butter, Red Vines or Twizzlers, and kettle corn. That's insane. I mean, they made comments throughout it being like, we're going to be sick.
Yeah, like that.
So sick.
It was stated. It was like, we're going to buy all these snacks and we're going to make ourselves sick tonight on the sugar. Like, okay, you don't have to do that. You can have a movie night with like a couple of
those things. I mean, trust me, okay? Trust me. I love a good theme. This is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Get all the snacks.
That's
do
true.
The whole thing. So, like,
that's true.
In that way, I love it.
Okay, that is a really good point. But that wasn't how it was presented. Like, it wasn't presented like we're doing all the candies because we're doing Willy Wonka night.
No, they did say that.
Oh, they did?
When they were going to the store, they said something like, you have to have snacks when you're watching Willy Wonka. Like, they said something along those lines. So that was mentioned. But I will say, this is their vibe, though, where they just, like,
eat sugar and chips. It's okay.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
fine.
judging. I'm not.
No, I love it. I've done it, too.
Same.
That was an insane amount of snacks. And they ordered pizza.
And they ordered pizza on top of it. Yeah.
Like, whoa.
I also have to make a quick note that, remember a few episodes ago when there was the grimy la la las?
Yeah.
I think that the transition into this was a little bit grimy.
Was it? Oh,
It
no.
was. I was like, oh, it's a grimy la la la.
Oh, no.
It was like Dean's coming over. La la la. I can't do it. I'm like too hard. When it was doing the like pan over all the snacks and stuff.
I missed that.
It happened again.
Oh,
I'm
man.
telling you.
Strike 2
Yeah.
on the grimy la-las. So Rory and Lorelai are waiting for Dean. He's late. They go to look outside, and you see that Dean has been sidelined by Babette and Maury. And Lorelai runs out there, and Babette is talking to Dean, and you just hear Babette go, "So, Dean, you like jazz?"
This scene is, in my opinion, the funniest scene of the whole episode.
Yeah.
This scene. So, Dean, you like jazz?
She didn't say it like
She kind of said it like that.
She does have a little bit of a
like a rasp.
rasp.
So,
Yeah.
Dean, you like jazz?
So, Dean, you like jazz?
That's how she said it.
Made me laugh so hard. Oh. Lorelai runs outside to
Yeah.
run interference. She's like, "Yeah, jazz, jazz. That's all we hear. Jazz. He loves jazz. Dean, go inside.
Go inside.
Help Rory."
Go help Rory with a pickle jar.
Yeah. Maury is just in the window. He's not outside. He's just like talking to Dean, I guess, from inside the house. And he's like, "Stay cool, kid." And Dean's like, "Yeah, I will." Kind of
With
eyes
squinty
squinting.
eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, like,
Squints his
I
eyes.
guess it's like you have to like squint your eyes. Yeah, I will.
And then Babette starts asking Lorelai about Dean and if that's Rory's boyfriend and their whole future together and, oh, they're going to have beautiful kids. And
Okay, she says my quote of the episode here.
Oh, what did she say?
She says, "Kissing in the market gives a whole new meaning to tasting day." That's my quote of the episode.
Right.
Isn't that incredible?
Yes. I didn't even write that down, but that's
I was like crying laughing. Like I was, I don't know. It's one of those things like, yeah, it happens really fast. So if you're not kind of like, because you're just like, oh, it's just a funny interaction between Lorelai and Babette right here. But like, this is what she says. Because yeah, it's when she's being like, oh, is that Rory's boyfriend? Like, he's cute,
Yeah.
And then because Lorelai says something like, oh, they're just friends. Like they're just friends. And she's like, that's not what I heard. I heard this stuff was happening. She goes, kissing in the market gives a whole new meaning to tasting day. What? So good. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that interaction. Lorelai is like, "Yeah, okay, I have to go inside and shower. Okay, bye."
Yeah.
Oh, that is such a good
So
scene.
good.
Fade back into the house. Dean is like, "I got here like a half hour ago." And they're like, "You're fine."
We would believe you if you said you got here 3 hours ago.
Yeah. "You're fine." And they're standing there, and it's a little awkward, so they're trying to make small talk, and Lorelai says, "So, Dean, how you liking Stars Hollow so far?" And Dean says, "Yeah, it's nice. It's quiet. I like the trees." And Lorelai starts telling a story about how when Rory was little, she found out a tree was named a weeping willow, and so she tried to cheer it up. And then Rory looks at her like whispering, no, what do you, no,
Yeah.
stop. Shaking her head. And Lorelai goes, "Oh, wait, no, sorry, that was me."
That part too.
That made me laugh.
I'm sorry, that was me.
What? It's so good. They start to give Dean a tour of the house, and she has to quickly hide naked baby photos of Rory and things like that. It's like, okay, hide all the embarrassing things. The doorbell rings. It's the pizza. Lorelai goes to get it. Rory and Dean are in the kitchen. There's a closed room, and Dean says, "What's in there?" And Rory says, "Oh, that's just my room," and he wants to see it. They go inside, and he just walks on in and says, "Wow, it's very clean in here," and just starts going through her stuff, which I was a little taken aback by. It was like, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah, kind of a little bit. Rory could have been like, nah, I don't want to like go in my room right now. She didn't really say that. I would have been very uncomfortable, again, on the short notice of this person seeing my room. That was a discomfort. But I get what you're saying, that like he went in and just starts like going through stuff.
Yeah. I hate people who do that. There's
I
people
wouldn't-
who do that.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Where it's
There's
like-
people that do that. I
It's
don't
happened
really like
to me before, not with a boyfriend or anything like that, but just like a friend who just starts like opening your drawers, and it's like,
What? Like,
that's
what are you doing?
don't go through my things.
Like, yeah.
It's weird.
No, I agree with you. But was he like going through her things in that way? I thought he just was like walking around and like looking at like, oh, you have this on a shelf. Like it was like that.
I guess maybe.
It wasn't like he was like
I'm defensive of that.
He wasn't like rifling through her desk or something. Like he's like going through papers. He's like, what's this bill? Like what? He's like, I mean, unless I missed that. I thought
Rifling through drawers.
yeah, like
No,
I think he just kind of like walked around and he like picked up something that was like out. Like
that's fair.
it was like
a
that.
CD or something he picked up and asked
Yeah.
about it.
So I can like if you're sensitive to that, like I get that. I did not interpret that it was at the level of weirdness of what he did. He just walked in, he looked at stuff, and he did pick up some items that were just out. He didn't have to like go into like anything
That's
to
fair.
get the items.
That is fair.
So-
Okay. All right. That's fair. Rory is in the doorway and he looks at her and says, so you coming in? You look a little glued to the door there. And Rory says, no, yeah, I'm good here. And he says, would you like me to get out of here? She says, no, I'm fine with you looking around. So she does say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Dean picks up a rooster stuffed animal and says, nice chicken, in a way that was like making fun of her. It seemed rude to me.
Yes. He was making fun of her, yes.
But not in a cute, playful way.
Maybe I just misinterpreted it. I didn't think it was like
Maybe I'm just defensive about people rifling through my room.
I think you are. The part that I thought was weird was like, are you going to come in here? It's like, what? It's not. She's just standing. I don't know.
That was also strange.
That was a little bit like,
she
didn't
not
want to like,
want to be alone in the room with him.
yes. That was like super clear.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where my defensiveness is coming from. I'm not sure where this
So
is totally
you
stemming
had
from, but
you had some multiple experiences where people just like started going through your stuff? Because I don't think that's ever happened to me.
This was back in grade school. I had people over, friends,
Air
put that in
quotes.
air quotes. Yeah, and the one girl, she just started like opening my drawers. This is at this house. And I remember thinking like, what is she doing? Like I would never just go into my friend's room and start opening drawers, picking up things and being like, what's this? You know, that she did that. I remember that very clearly.
Wow.
Being like, this is uncomfortable.
That is weird though.
Because you're like snooping. I don't know.
Yeah, yes.
weird.
It's like okay, yeah. I guess what I'm saying is that there is a line between snooping and just like, oh, like,
Yeah.
what's
He
this?
wasn't doing
And I
that.
don't think I didn't see anything that crossed that line.
He wasn't doing that. I think I'm just defensive.
Okay.
I've been burned in the past. Felt weird.
When
But
you like let people into your space and then they started not respecting the space. So yeah.
flash to the front door. It's not the pizza. It's Suki, and she brought cupcakes under the guise to see Dean.
Meaning she has heard that Dean is at their house.
Yes.
Who did she hear it from? Unclear.
Unclear, but clearly the whole town is talking about this. I bet you anything, Babette called some people and then
You think
word got
Babette
around.
did?
Yeah, the whole town talks. Babette is a talker of the town. She's one of the gossipers.
Oh, so it was like as soon as they were like, "There's a boy here," they talk to him.
He goes in the house.
He goes in the house and then
during that time.
during the time as he went in the house, and then she immediately started calling people in the town.
I believe it.
And how much time has passed now? A few minutes. Suki baked cupcakes and went over to their house. Maybe she already had the cupcakes.
Maybe I could see her knowing the movie night was happening.
Yeah.
And her baking cupcakes for it. I could see that already being the case.
Okay.
But then does find out that Dean is there through the phone tree of gossip and shows up more deliberately to see Dean.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. That's still very funny though, because it's just like, it's been like 5 minutes
Yeah.
between when we last saw Babette and now the whole town knows that Dean is there.
Yeah. Lorelai tells Suki to get out of here because she doesn't want Rory to think that she's parading her and Dean around to her friends because it's already awkward. There's already been a lot of tension about this night. Like, please don't make it any worse. The pizza guy shows up. She gets the pizza and then shoves Suki out the door, but she accidentally gave Suki the pizza and is holding the
there's like a
cupcakes.
switch of like Suki now has the pizza and she has the cupcakes instead of the pizza.
Yeah. Rory and Dean come over to the front door and Lorelai's like, hey, trying to act normal. And Rory says, where is the pizza? And then Suki comes knocking. It's like, hey, pizza. She comes in with the pizza, says, hi, Dean. And then goes, not that I knew you were Dean, but you look like a Dean. Doesn't he look like a Dean?
Yeah.
It was really funny. And Lorelai goes, yeah, out of all the people here, he looks most like a Dean. Dean goes and takes the pizza to the living room. And Rory is pissed. And Lorelai's like, I did not invite her here. And Rory says, why didn't you just set up a camera and broadcast this to the internet? Lorelai's, I didn't think of that.
Because I didn't think of that ahead of time.
Fade to, they're in the living room. They dig into the pizza. Everyone has about 2 slices.
Yeah, can I just I'm sorry, it's just funny that you mentioned how much they ate because they did this like cut scene of like, okay, now
time lapse.
Yes, like a time lapse of like, okay, now it's later and they've eaten stuff, but there was still like a lot of the pizza left.
Yeah.
It just made me laugh because I was like, they barely ate any of this pizza.
Yeah.
Like how much time has actually been?
Right. It was like maybe a few minutes. I don't know if we needed a time lapse.
Yeah, like it was almost like comical. Like it was like an unnecessary time lapse.
Yeah. Lorelai asks, who wants more? And Rory says, I do. And then Dean says, wow, you can eat. And Rory says, yeah, and goes, oh, wait, is that a bad thing? And he's like, no, it's good. Most girls don't eat. And Rory's like, okay, we can stop commenting on how much I eat or don't eat now.
Yeah.
This made me think of a story I have to tell.
Oh, you have a story. Okay.
Yeah. So my best friend came into town. She lives out of town. And that night we went out for pizza at a local pizza place over here. And they serve square pizzas. There's a small and a large.
Okay.
Those are the 2 options. And our waitress, who was a girl, asked us, do you want a small or a large? I don't remember the exact amounts, but I think like 16 came in the large. And we're like, yeah, let's take the large. Maybe we'll have leftovers. I don't know, but we were hungry. She'd been traveling for 5 hours. Like, yeah, let's get
a large pizza. Great.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. We go to town on this pizza. Like, we're hungry. We're eating it. It's just the 2 of us. And the waitress came over multiple times to be like, do you guys want a box for this? And we were like, no, we're good. We're still eating. She's like, okay. Like a couple times, a different waitress who was a girl came over and asked us if we want a box for this. And we're like, no, we're fine. Like, we're still eating. Clearly, we ate most of the pizza. I mean, there was maybe 4 pieces left. So
okay,
we ate a good bit of it. I'm not upset about it. Then the first waitress comes over and just goes, you know, I love what you guys are doing here tonight. And my friend and I just stared at her like,
what?
What are you trying to imply right now? She was like, I love what you guys are doing here tonight. Not caring, just eating pizza. Like, she said something along those lines.
Because you just, like, ate a lot of pizza?
Yes.
What?
Yes, this happened.
I'm so confused right now.
Like those 2 girls were making fun of us for eating a lot of pizza. That's how I felt.
Like, she was making fun of you, like, to your face because of that?
Yes, without outright saying that. That is what it felt like to me because of the amount of times they came over being like, do you guys want a box? And we were clearly still eating the pizza.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It is. Yeah. Anyway, that scene made me think of that.
Both of you were like equally yes, like, what?
Yeah. I mean, we
what
were
the F?
Like, yeah, we were like, okay, F you. Like,
yeah.
Anyway, it just made me think of that when they were like, wow, you can really eat. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, okay, let's not comment on people's eating.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the 3 of them, Lorelai, Rory, and Dean, are sitting there watching the movie, and they start talking, and it's starting to feel a little more comfortable between the 3 of them, telling embarrassing stories and crushes and things about movies. You find out Dean has sisters, and it's just good, cute, comfortable conversation.
Yeah.
Lorelai gets up to get more popcorn, and Rory and Dean are by themselves talking, and they imply that he'll have to come back for another movie night, and he's wondering, when does the newcomer get to suggest a movie? And he wants to watch Boogie Nights, and Rory says you'll never get it past Lorelai. But the 2 of them are talking and laughing, and it's cute, and Lorelai comes back in, and she notices that the two of them are alone and getting along well. And so she just sneaks back into the kitchen to leave them alone, which I thought was good.
Yeah.
Dean and Rory are watching the movie, and Rory's getting a little uncomfortable, so Dean puts a pillow behind her, and they're having cute little moments, cozy moments together.
Cozy.
Rory's staring at Dean. Dean looks back at her and just says, hey, and raises his eyebrows. And then Rory says, I gotta go, and gets up and runs to the kitchen to find her mom. And Lorelai's just sitting in the kitchen reading magazines, whatever. And Rory is like, what are you doing in here? Get back in there. Lorelai's like, I'm just looking at bathing suits. What, is something wrong?
Yeah.
And Rory goes, he's just sitting there and watching the movie, and he's perfect, and he smells really good. And Rory says, he smells really good, and he looks amazing, and I'm stupid. And I said, thank you. And starts to tell Lorelai that when Dean first kissed her, all she said was thank you and ran away. And Lorelai says, oh, he kissed you and you said thank you? That's really polite.
Yeah.
And Rory says, no, it's stupid. And what kind of chaperone are you? We're over there. You're in here. What are you doing? Lorelai says, I'm just trying to be chill. I'm trying to just, give you guys some space, and tells Rory to calm down. I'll come back in, go freshen up, and we'll go in there separately so it doesn't look like you just came in here to come get me.
Yeah.
So Rory goes to the bathroom to, air quotes, wash her face.
I would like to point out that they had a very loud conversation just around the corner of where Dean was sitting, and he absolutely heard that entire conversation, in my opinion.
100%. No doubt about it.
It was right there. I mean, come on.
It was right there. They weren't whispering.
They were practically like not even in a different room. It was very loud.
He 100% heard that conversation. So Lorelai walks back into the living room with popcorn and sits down next to Dean. She tells Dean that Rory's washing her face, and then Lorelai pauses the movie and looks at Dean and says to him, this is a very different household that you walked into tonight. And Dean's like, oh, the talk. And then Lorelai is like, how about I talk and you listen? And she says, like, I don't think Rory would waste her time with some loser. And Dean says, but you're watching me. And she goes, oh, sweetie, the whole town is watching you. And if you hurt Rory, there's not a safe place within 100 miles that you can hide. She's like, the whole town will be after you, like that type of thing. I'm like, this was a spooky moment, honestly. I was like,
it could be considered that. The whole town will be watching you.
Yes. We will hunt you down. There's not a safe place you can hide within 100 miles. Got it? It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I took that as like, they are very involved in the community, and everybody knows each other, and everyone is just like, which I know that's what they meant by it.
Oh, it totally is. Yeah.
Yeah. It just was like, oh, everyone loves Rory. She's such a great person. Don't hurt her.
Oh, for sure. She's a beloved person in this town. So if you hurt her, we will come at you with the pitchforks. Yeah, for sure. And then Lorelai says to Dean, like, this is a very small, weird place you moved to, and all eyes are on you. And Dean's like, yeah, I'm starting to realize that.
He's like, yeah, I'm picking that up.
It's a little bit of a weird town. So Lorelai gives Dean a list of all these rules. Lorelai goes to resume the movie, and then Dean says, my turn to speak? And then he says, you can lay on all the rules you want, and you can have the whole town spy on me and stare at me and chase me through the streets, but I'm not going anywhere. I thought that was a weird response.
It was a little bit weird. It was a little weird. I think it was written with an intent that didn't necessarily land.
Yeah. Because then he immediately leads into, like, I need you not to hate me. Rory will listen to what you say. You guys are best friends. She takes your word very seriously. So, like, if you don't like me, she's not going to like me. So it was just a weird intro. It was a weird, like, I don't know. It didn't make sense to me how that went together. I was like, what is he about to... Because I almost thought he was about to threaten her. Like, that's how it came across. You can do whatever you want. But Rory's mine. Like, it was like, that's where it was going.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, wait, what? It was weird.
You could send the whole town after me, but I ain't going nowhere. Whoa. Yes, I agree that it kind of came off that way. But I know that what it was meant to be saying was like, I'm really interested and I really like Rory a lot. And I know that like she values your opinion so much and therefore I value your opinion a lot. Yes. Is what he was trying to say, I think.
Yeah. Well, he says, I don't want you to hate me. And I think Lorelai says, like, I don't want to hate you either. And I usually get what I want. So it's like she's saying, it's going to take me some time to get used to this, to get used to you. But like, I think we can make this work type of thing. They go to resume the movie and Dean's like, she's taking a long time on her face. And Lorelai says, yeah, well, Rory's a perfectionist.
Is she?
I think so. I would agree with that. I mean, that's good to know if you're her boyfriend.
I guess it is.
It's important information, I would think.
Important. Yeah. It's important.
Flash to Rory and Dean are on the porch. He's leaving. Dean says to Rory, tell your mom thank you for inviting me. And Rory's like, I'm so sorry if this was totally weird. And Dean says, no, it was all good. You know, I had a good time. And then they kiss. Their second kiss. Very cute. And then Dean looks at Rory and says, thank you. And walks away. And, oh, God, it was so cute.
It was so cute.
It was so cute. Like,
it was so cute.
God. I love it so much. Flash to, we're in Lorelai's bedroom. Rory went up there to talk to her. And they're talking about, like, I think that went well. And Rory says, yeah, it did. And Rory's about to go to bed and can tell something is wrong with Lorelai. And she asks her what is wrong. And Lorelai says, no, I'm okay. I just really wanted to hear about that kiss. And Rory says, I know, I just got scared. And Lorelai says, yes, it's okay. I did want to hear about it. And they're about to go to bed. And then Rory jumps on the bed and starts to tell Lorelai about the kiss and everything that happened and telling her about the aisle. And it's like the aisle with the ant spray. Oh, that's a good aisle and that whole thing. And
it's like very similar to the conversation she had with Lane.
Yes.
At the beginning. Yeah.
Yes. And it's cute. And it fades to the credits.
They are healed. Everyone feels good.
Everyone feels good again.
I felt good.
It's all cozy. Hug your heart.
I just wanted to hug something.
Get a pillow and hug it. All is right again. And that is the end of episode 7. I love this episode. This is like one of my favorites and definitely probably my favorite of all the ones we've watched so far.
Yeah. I think this has been my favorite episode so far.
Yeah. It's all encompassing. Like, it's got the fall. It's got the relationships. Rory and Dean are, you know, moving forward. And I just love it. And funny, but there's drama and the comedy. And it's just all of it together.
It's like all of it. Yeah. Also, just like the feeling at the end. This is the first time where I got to the end and I was like, oh. And I had that like, I had this like super warm feeling just watching it.
Yep.
Which I keep hearing about as a thing with this show. So like, but that happened in this episode for me.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Don't you just want to go watch a movie? I just want to go get cozy and like.
But I kind of do.
Yes.
Like, I just like it just makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Which obviously, you know, I'm new to this.
Yeah.
So I'm getting excited because I'm like, oh, there's going to be more of this?
Yeah.
Yay! There is one thing I do have to say, though. We went 2 episodes now, and what happened to Mr. Medina? What happened?
Where did he go?
Where did he go? He wasn't mentioned at all. Did they ever go on their date? There was like that whole thing, and then it was 2 episodes about Rory. I, got through this, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's a good question. I cannot say.
I mean, I know you can't, but I'm like... Okay, they're doing a little focus on Rory's situation right now, but when we go back to focusing on Lorelai, are we going to find out what happened there? I would hope so. I hope they don't just, like, have storylines that just, like, dissipate into nothing. So, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of the show to know that happens in this show.
Yeah.
In general, are there storylines that start and then just, like, never come back?
Never come back? No.
See, that's the impression that I got, that doesn't happen, that's not, and even just like things that you wouldn't even think are important come back.
They do circle around.
It's more on that side and less on the like other side, because sometimes shows kind of do that.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Again, I don't want to give anything away. Does that happen? Yeah. My take on this, not because the show producers just like... I think it was circumstances out of their control, potentially.
Oh.
And you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But I don't want to give anything away, but
Got it.
stuff like that does happen. But I think if it was up to show producers, this is just my own personal take, it wouldn't have happened that way.
Okay. Well, based on that, then, I guess I will say I would like to know next episode what's going on with Lorelai and Mr. Medina.
We just might.
Okay, so let's recap. Fashion ins and outs.
Yeah, so I wanted a fashion in to be Lorelai's outfit in the cold open. She had that, brown sweater and skirt and leather jacket. But, I mean, the fact that she wasn't wearing underwear is a fashion out.
Yes. It ruined the whole thing.
It ruined it. I said, I know too much. So I can't. In good conscience, like
Julia's like holding her hands up. She's like, I can't.
So that's one. The other thing was, I don't know, I just liked Luke's outfit, which I didn't expect him to be in fashion ins and outs, but it was just like, this is encompassing the fall. Let's get cozy. I don't know. That's just what it was getting to me. So
also, Rory wore a nice sweater to her movie night.
She looked really good, actually, I thought. Her hair looked nice for being thrown together. I thought she looked
and
good.
that was like super last minute. Like, nailed it.
Fashion in.
All right, spooky moments.
There was when Mrs. Kim pops up behind the counter.
Pops up out of nowhere.
Yeah. She's like, Rory's not here. That's definitely a good contender.
I think we have to say that the next contender is the conversation with Lorelai and Dean.
Oh, 100%.
Like
that. It was like, we will hunt you down.
There were like two lines. It was like the we will hunt you down, but also like, you could hunt me down, but I'm not going anywhere.
I was like, whoa.
This is escalating, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. After my rewatch, I was like, I don't know. This might be the spooky moment. I was like, this could escalate into something. I don't know.
I don't know.
I was getting a little spooked. That might be my final pick.
I think it's mine too. All right. Going into wholesome moments, I think one of my contenders, at least, is when Lorelai and Luke are like just walking down the street talking. Because as I mentioned, that was like, hey, this is the first time that they're just like hanging out. That hasn't happened yet in the show in any of the episodes that I have seen. So that was like, they're friends.
That's my pick. I mean, I talked about it the entire episode. I was like, this right here is everything.
It's everything.
So that is my pick for wholesome moment.
Second place is like the very end of the episode, I think, when like she's talking to her mom.
Yes, for sure.
Romantic moments.
Well,
I mean, the whole thing was like all about that. So.
All about Rory and Dean and
their kiss.
I mean, yeah, it was their kiss.
The title of the episode.
Kiss and tell.
The whole thing revolved around.
They kissed at the beginning. It was all about that. It was really cute. They had the movie night.
So cute.
The kiss and thank you, goodbye. Oh, love it.
All right. And quote of the episode for me is potentially my favorite quote so far in this show. Should I say it again?
Please.
Kissing in the market gives a whole new meaning to tasting day. I don't know if that's ever going to get old.
See, now I had two now because at first I thought my pick was going to be when Miss Patty was in Luke's saying, well, food without ambiance isn't really food, is it? And the way she says it just made me laugh. But I honestly think what I'm going to go with is, so Dean, you like jazz?
Oh, that scene was so good. So Dean, you like jazz? I don't know why I'm doing this impression where it's all raspy.
You're doing the impression, if anyone knows, those like Ghost Hunter show with like 3 a.m. You know Mary was in the burial hall.
It's the person. It's the lady that plays the medium in the movie Poltergeist.
Yeah, that's right.
It's that actress. Yes, it's that same lady. I'm forgetting her name right now, but I wasn't trying to emulate
that is
her.
What you were doing.
Apparently.
So I think that is my final pick for quote of the episode.
Amazing. And finally, predictions. I think I'm going to have to say that my main prediction is next episode we're going to find out what's going on with Lorelai and Mr. Medina, as I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm. We'll just have to see.
The other option is maybe more of the Rory at Chilton dynamics.
Could be.
Because there was some stuff going on with like her in Paris and what's his name?
Tristan.
So they could Tristan, thank you. They could keep going with the Rory focus and go with that.
There's a
next
few
episode too.
different avenues they could go down in next episode.
I'll say it's one of those two. It's going to be one of those two. It's going to be Chilton dynamics or Lorelai and Mr. Medina, or maybe both, because he's at Chilton too.
That's true, actually. Yeah. So maybe it could be a combo of something. Who knows? We'll just have to see. All right. Well, that was episode 7, Kiss and Tell. And next time we will be talking about episode 8, Love and War and Snow.
Thanks so much, everyone, for listening. And if you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to us on whatever platform you are listening on.
And if you like our show and want more content, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Sisters in Stars Hollow.
Until next time, keep the coffee flowing.